Hi, my name is Liz. I'm with the core, and joining me today is Andy Darling. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm so excited to have you. I know we did a shoot recently for your different shoots that you were doing out here in LA, and it was so much fun. I I really got to learn like what an amazing essence you have besides just really talented human being. So it was such an honor to get to work with you.
Oh my God, thank you. No, you were such a blast to have. And I love you. Thank you. Oh my God, it's whew, okay.
I
I
feel
love you.
You know, the type of person you are is kind of like the type of team you create around you. Like everyone on that set was just so sweet and so creative.
No, they really were. It felt very special. It felt like everyone was so warm and creative and
Yeah.
like giving. So I am very, very grateful for that. Oh my God, thank you.
How did it feel being back in LA? Because I know like this is where you lived for a little bit. I know you've moved around a lot. I did some research. I know you lived in different countries too. So what was it like being in LA again?
It was so different
Hmm.
because I spent a year in New York
Hmm.
and going back to LA, where I spent like 3 years of my life really building my community and my artistry. And I feel like LA is still my home base when it comes to the US.
Yeah.
So being back there after experiencing New York and having a totally different life and all these things happening, like good things, and like bringing them all back to LA was I felt like I was like on a different level in a
Yeah.
way, but still connected to the city because I love LA, and I feel like spending a year away from my lover, LA,
Yeah. Yeah.
felt it made me feel like I love LA. Like I actually know that I love the city.
What's the biggest thing that you've missed? Was it like any particular places that you used to go to? Was it specifically the people or just kind of the vibe overall?
Oh, I'm gonna be a lame ass bitch, but the weather.
Yeah.
For sure,
Yeah.
it's the first thing. I'm sorry to be so cliche, but the weather, no other place can beat LA weather for me.
Yeah.
Because coming from Russia and experiencing the cold doesn't make me miss the cold. I know some people get nostalgic and
Yeah.
I like the winter. It's so romantic. What I'm like, bitch, no, not for
Yeah.
me, not for
Yeah.
me. And I was born like in January. Ugh, it's just too much. And just having no seasons in LA. At first, when I first experienced it, I was like, I felt weird. It
Yeah.
felt like a simulation. I'm
Because you're
like,
like,
what?
I don't know what time of year it is. It could be
Never.
January, it could be like November. You don't know.
Especially with like
Yeah.
this weird weather changes all the time. It's like January can be warmer than July sometimes. Not
Yeah.
June. July is usually fine, but like January and June can be like same, or January can be hotter. So it's like I used to like freak me out at
Hmm.
first, but then now I miss it. Like I don't want to know if it's January or June. Like I don't want to know. I want to wear this all the time. I
And,
don't like winter fashion.
and the fact that in LA you can also just go to different places and you can be on the beach during one time, you can be hiking during a different time of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I definitely, but it's not just the weather. I feel like LA just has a very chill vibe, you
Mhm.
know? It's like chill but creative.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what I needed at the time when I was there. And when I moved to New York, I just felt like I was kind of not in the place for chill anymore. And so
Hmm.
New York is perfect right now. But I still, whenever I go back to LA, I'm like, yeah, okay, that's cool. That's cool.
What was that move like from LA to New York? Were you kind of prepared to make that jump? Like, did you have people that you knew out there and like were well connected, or was it kind of just like a spur of the moment? I need to leave. I need something new.
It was so the biggest thing for me was the gut feeling that I knew that I would fall in love in New York.
Hmm.
I was so random, and I'm usually not very romantically forward kind of person.
Yeah.
I usually just do stuff for my career and for my artistry, but I remember it was random February, and my friend from LA who moved to New York invited me for his beautiful retreat,
Hmm.
and then he like was really encouraging me like, oh, you should really move to New York because that is your vibe, that is your style. And I listened because I respect that person, I love him. And I was like, okay, but that's not enough for me, the encouragement from the outside, right? And
Yeah.
so I spent a month in New York, and I just had this strong feeling that that is the place where I'm going to fall in love. So it was three things. I knew exactly that I would fall in love, that I would get a green card, and I would have a career boost.
Hmm.
And all those things happened. Like
Yeah.
all of them. Like literally, I moved to New York. I only had one friend, but he moved to actually upstate New York. So
Okay.
he wasn't even New York anymore, but I moved here with a friend from LA.
Hmm.
So that was really nice.
At least
I
a little bit
wasn't
of comfort, a little bit of home. Yeah.
absolutely like I wasn't completely alone, even though I planned to move here alone. But then my friend heard it and she was like, I'll come with you. That sounds like fun. I was like, okay. Um, and yeah, so it was just like this like strong intuition. And so I moved because I knew that's where my love is. And yeah, that's how it happened. So weird.
How did you guys meet? Was it just also like a random coincidence or?
Yeah. So interestingly enough, right, I get this gut feeling that I need to move to New York because that's where I'm gonna fall in love.
Hmm.
And the first 3 days after I moved to New York, I go to this random open mic
Hmm.
thing where I get to perform a song.
Hmm.
And then a friend of mine takes a video of me doing this, and I take this video and I put it on my Instagram, and then that video goes like little viral. It
I
has
remember seeing it. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so I think it has like 1 million or 2 million. I mean, pretty viral, not too crazy.
Yeah.
So my boyfriend, well, like Josh, my love,
Yeah.
he sees that video while on tour somewhere else. I don't know
Hmm.
where he was because he's a rock musician himself. He was either like in Australia or I don't know where he was. And then he sees the video and he's like, oh my God, I just gotta know this person. So he just comments. And then I remember I see his comment and I just remember his face and I was like, oh my God, such a cute face. And I just knew immediately. I was like, oh, there's something there.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so he literally kind of like slid into my DMs and he just messaged me like, oh, I am on tour. We're gonna be performing in New York, blah blah blah. Come through. And his social media is very confusing. So I was like, oh, he looks like an artist, but what does he do? Like it was very
Yeah.
confusing. I just knew he had a cute face and like the vibe.
It was like love at first sight, essentially, but virtual.
Digital, like a
Yeah.
digital fairy tale. And I'm happy that
Yeah.
it happened through like, like Instagram and not through like a dating app. Because
Yeah.
first things first, my boyfriend, like I don't think he's ever used a dating app. I don't think he's ever gone to a date. Because he's
Really?
completely, yeah, we actually talked
That's
about it
crazy.
recently, and he said that he probably has been like to a date or one or two in his life because like his personality just like
Yeah. A lot
he
of
does.
artists are really introverted. It's been the craziest thing to learn. Like my boyfriend is a bassist himself and very introverted too.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
bassist. He plays.
Yeah. He plays
Wow.
bass, yeah, in a
Where?
band.
What band?
This band called Vesper Rose. They're like a goth rock punk band.
I love that. Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
But a
So you
lot of them are introverted. They're really passionate about music. They love being on stage, and that's kind of where they thrive with their audience. But off stage, like they don't talk to a lot of people.
no, no, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I feel like I am on the cusp. Like I don't know if I'm extroverted or introverted. It really depends for me. Like when I'm creating, like I'm happy to just like not leave the house for some time and just like create and not talk to people when I'm in this creative state.
Yeah.
But then sometimes, like whenever I'm out, I'm happy that I'm out. Like I,
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like I'm lucky enough to get the energy both ways,
Yeah.
inside and outside.
Yeah.
In a way. Wow, I just realized that. Okay.
I love that you called it kind of like a digital fairy tale because I do feel like you're kind of like a digital like queen like online. Like you're the confidence you exert. Like I would love like if somebody hasn't heard your music, like what how would you describe the music to that person?
I love that question. And my answer changes every fucking time, but
Yeah.
I think the best genre I would put it is definitely punk pop.
Hmm.
It's just like bubble gum fucked up punk pop.
Yeah.
It's like it looks so like colorful and like happy, but it's a little like fucked up, you
Yeah,
know?
there's an
It's like
edge to it.
yes, it's like the edgy bubble gum, I think.
Yeah. I love your like the fact that you reference like the Slavic hood like
Yes,
yeah, no,
Slavic
I love
represent.
that.
It's so important for me. I also realized that recently, being away from my country, and I really haven't spent much time in Russia ever since I left and I was
Yeah.
17. Um, and only like after all these years, I realized how important my culture is for me
Yeah.
and how it is my mission to show my culture in a way that I think it's cool. I
Yeah.
think it's
Yeah.
cool because I'm so kind of tired of this like, oh, Russia, vodka and bears and the
Yeah.
villain and ooh, spooky.
Yeah.
To me, that's like bad. Like, I don't like that. What about our like ballet? What about all our literature? What about the existential doom and gloom?
Yeah.
Like the real stuff. So, yeah, it's like Slavic edgy bubblegum, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's especially as somebody who's grown up in not in Moscow, you know, because again, most people know Russia for St. Petersburg, Moscow, but when you kind
Yeah.
of like exit it, it's so diverse and it's so there's such a range of cultures and people and things that make up essentially your DNA if you're from that place.
Yes.
And it's awesome that you get to share that and kind of show a new perspective on it.
Yes, because there's really, thank you, because there's not much about it out there. It's like
Mhm.
either every third Hollywood movie has a Russian villain, right? It's like Russia has something to do with this, Russia has something to do with that. It's never anything positive, really.
Yeah, yeah,
And or it's like cheap shit, like oh vodka, bears. No, 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 no,
yeah.
no, no.
There's more depth to it.
Yeah, and I get like the stereotypes help people I like
Understand.
stereotypes in a way like just help people survive,
Yeah,
but I just want to shed a little more light on who we actually are as
yeah.
a like culturally, you
I
know?
saw your reel where you're like, this is the school that I went to. This is the apartment I grew up in. And it like it made me think of my home over there too, where
Yeah.
because it's so real. But again, I think people have such a misunderstanding of what like most average lives look out there. People,
Yeah, and I can't blame them. Like, how would they know? They only know either from a personal experience, but if they didn't
yeah,
grow up there, didn't have friends, they wouldn't know, or whatever they see on TV, right? Like, it's not their job to
yeah,
learn about Russian or like Slavic culture. Like, so I want to make it as accessible as it can be, so like they don't have to, put too much effort, but they still kind of understand the essence, you
yeah.
know? Hmm.
What was that jump like? Because I know you had a career in Russia. You know, you were on different shows there. You were still building your repertoire out there. What was that jump like to the US? Like, what was that major push that you're like, I need to make music out here. I need to make music in English. And I love that you've been also like including some Russian in your recent music too. But like,
Yeah.
what was that initial push to like change something in your career?
So, same thing. I just felt like I had to go. I had to
Yeah.
leave. And it's always been my dream to be famous in the whole world.
Yeah.
And I knew that ever since I was a kid that, America is the hot spot. If you really want to be famous everywhere, it has to happen in America
Yeah.
in a way. And so it's it's the ambition. It's always been the ambition for me. That's why, I started learning English when I was like 2 or 3 years old, thanks to my parents,
Yeah.
they are very progressive too. And I've always written songs in English, and I've always consumed like American pop culture or British too.
Yeah.
And but really the deciding point was when I was in Russia having my career and it was going pretty well. And
Yeah.
then at some point that I realized that, okay, I had a radio hit in Russia.
Hmm.
People know my song. They don't know me yet. And that's okay. That's how every career kind of, not every, but most careers
Yeah.
kind of start, right? And I realized I was like, okay, I either can spend a certain amount of years building my career in Russia,
Hmm.
or I can do the same thing somewhere else.
Yeah.
I am not delusional. I understood at the time that in Russia it's already happening, it's already working, and there's way more chances I can actually build something here. But it just felt like it wasn't enough.
Yeah. It's very secluded. Like a lot of Russian artists who get big, it kind of stays within the territory. And so, yeah.
And that's okay, and that's like
Yeah.
that's being famous and doing what you love in your home country, like it's amazing, like why not? But it just didn't feel big enough for me, so I was like, let's not lie to ourselves, whatever, Anastasia, not to yourself, and let's just do what you actually want to do, like let's risk it. And so I
Yeah.
just remember at that time I would just wake up almost every other night with this like anxiety that I need to leave, I need to leave, I need to get the fuck out. And not because stuff was bad, not because like I was struggling, no, it was just like I knew that that's what I had to do. Same with New York, right? I would be like, okay, I have to move because I just know. And that like certainty, like when I get that,
Yeah.
I
You have to
follow
do
that.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't listen to anything else. Like I don't care. Like I don't care what's going on outside. I just know it's just so strong. If I ignore it, I can die, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how I moved. That was in September or some 2020. It was in
Yeah.
2020.
And
Like during COVID.
which is the craziest time to be doing that because you really don't know what's going to be happening with the music industry or just any industry at that point in general.
No, I
Um,
just did it. I don't care. I don't know. It's like I think I have many fears,
mhm.
and I have a lot of courage, and it's like I feel like there is a lot of things day to day that I have like an analysis paralysis, I call it,
Yeah.
too much. And then sometimes little things like I get so like overstimulated that I can't do anything. But when it comes to like big moves like that,
Yeah.
I don't question them.
Yeah.
I just know it's right, and it is right. It always is right.
And that has led for so many awesome projects out here. I mean, your music was featured in Anora, which is
Yeah.
an Oscar winner. What was that process like? What did they reach out to you about placing your music in it? Was it something that you reached out to them about?
It was absolutely random. It
Hmm.
was a friend of mine who owns a his own like sync library, and to put that in layman's terms, it's pretty much a library of music that is pitched to um different out like not outlets, but like different movies and TV shows
Hmm.
and like pictures pretty much. And so my friend has a library like that, and we kind of work on and off together. And then he had a specific request for me. He was like, okay, this, he didn't say who, but he was like, somebody is looking for songs in Russian.
Hmm.
You got any? And I was like, bruh, of course.
So many, yeah.
Yeah, so many. And then I didn't think about it at all, really. I was just like, okay, there you go. Like,
Yeah.
whatever you, he kind of pushed a lot. Thank you so much, pal. Like, he really pushed. And, but because this kind of thing, this like, oh, placement in a movie, 95% of the time it just doesn't work out. They're
Yeah.
like, yeah, we need this music, we need this. Yeah, yeah, we love this so much. And and that just never happened. So I was really jaded at the time. I didn't care enough.
Yeah.
And then when he said, "Oh, they approved it," I was like, "Okay, that's cool. That's a paycheck, right?"
Yeah.
They paid me. I was like, "Okay, well, cool. I'm not gonna like,
Think about
some
it too
people,
much.
yeah, some people like negotiate, trying to raise the reply price. I'm like super. I don't care. Like I'm not gonna, blow anybody's brain about like, oh my God, give me more. Maybe I should, but I feel like I'm an artist. I'm an
Yeah.
artist. Like I'd rather have a manager or somebody else do it. But anyways, didn't think twice about it. I was like, okay, cool. Got my paycheck, and then I found out that that was something when Anora won this festival. I think it's called Palme d'Or or
Hmm.
something like that, like in Cannes. And that was the first time when I was like, oh, shoot, that is big. And then
Yeah.
telling everybody about it, like, oh, this movie is big. Like,
Hmm.
it is big. But then nobody listened to me. They were like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, nobody knows this movie. And
Yeah.
then fast forward, and I think that was like when my parents were here, and that was like in June of like 2024 or like May. And then fast forward to like what, January, when everybody was talking about Anora. And that to
Yeah.
me was like, that was so interesting, watching how things can blow up
Yeah.
so fast. I'm not talking about obviously the journey of Sean Baker, who has been doing this for so long, and
Yeah.
all these amazing actors, you
What
know?
what was crazy was that the film was a low budget film. They spent a lot of on marketing, but marketing doesn't always work. It's either a good film or not, you know? And the perception was so positive and so I don't know, like everyone people just knew it was gonna win.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have like goosebumps. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's it's so surreal how it all, like, it is a good movie with a good marketing, and it is the right time for it.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned throughout my career. It has to work with the things going on in the world at a time.
People have to be ready for it.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I'm just so happy that that happened for that particular movie, because great movie, great actors, great director, great music, you know?
Yeah. Were
So,
you able to watch it before it came out, or were you watching it with everyone else, essentially?
no, I was just, yeah, no, I didn't even, I watched it when I was in Russia,
Yeah.
when the movie was out everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think my friend who got me that placement wanted to like arrange something so I can watch it, like a premiere thing. But I was like in Russia, I was traveling, I was doing my things, I was like somewhere else, with
Yeah.
my brain. So I didn't even see it until I went to watch the movie in Russia with my parents, which was an experience because the movie is very explicit.
Yeah, yeah. Not a family movie.
No, and that
Yeah.
was me being in Russia like 4 years after I left, and
Yeah.
in my hometown in Rostov-na-Donu, watching the movie that everyone was talking about, and
Hmm.
it was very interesting. And then when just hearing my songs, I'm like, ugh, you
Yeah,
know?
what was their reaction to that too? Like your family, did they know that it was going to be kind of like a career change for you? Like it was going to be like this grand moment?
The first thing they said was, "Why so little? We need more
Yeah,
music."
that was such a Russian reaction.
Her first reaction was, "That should be a soundtrack for the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
Why isn't
yeah.
your face in it?"
Yeah. We need more.
Like
Yeah.
right away, like they always want more,
Yeah.
and that's funny. But no, they were really excited. It was just like they're just like me. They're like so happy, but like we want more.
Yeah. That's no, that's amazing. And then it winning Best Picture too. Like, did you celebrate in any way when it won?
I think I was sick. I think
Oh
I had this horrible
no.
virus. Yeah, yeah. It was like just a horrible virus that I
Yeah.
had, and I had a song that just came out too
Mhm.
at the same time, and I was like, "What do I promote now? The Oscars, the new song? Like,
Yeah.
what's happening right now?" And the virus that I had was just so bad. I feel like it had like it had a lot of psychological
Mhm.
consequences. Like it was a virus that affected like my psyche in a way.
Yeah.
Very weird.
Very draining.
She was like, I felt like my brain, I was sharing my brain with somebody. It was weird.
Yeah, I we had something similar going on around in LA, so it was probably just all over the US.
Same
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's awful. But in general, you've had so much awesome music come out recently. What has kind of the shift been over the last few years in regards to like your songwriting and like what how you want to put out music and like what's important to you as an artist when it comes to like releasing tracks?
It's changed so much, and it's ever evolving process. It's I used to be so scared to like put anything out because like in Russia I had this like big success, and then I had these expectations, but when I moved to the US I had like no one interested in me, releasing music in English and no fan base, nothing. So I was scared to release anything, and then when I would release stuff it would just get no attention or whatsoever, and it would just like break my heart and break my soul. And then at that time, I was kind of like in Russia and before Russia, I was like an artist 100% of the time, just like creatively looking inward. But then I moved to the US, and then I had all this, like I had a friend group who mostly were like influencers and content creators, and their approach is outwards, always outwards.
Oh yeah.
Like I look at the results, the numbers, that thing, like you just gotta do all that. And so I was learning how to do all this. So I went to like from not releasing anything, and just working on my stuff to releasing stuff and have it break my heart because I wouldn't get the results to having to release disregarding that I didn't have any results and no listens, and like literally releasing music into the abyss
Yeah.
just for the sake of the habit that I just have to release music and it doesn't even matter of the quality. So I
Yeah.
had to like shift so many times, and then to right now, fast forward, when I release music, I know that people listen to it,
Yeah.
and I am doing a big comeback to looking inward
Hmm.
and working on the best song. So
Yeah.
it's not the numbers for me anymore. And it's not like thinking, oh, what kind of line do I need to add so people use that line for TikTok or
Yeah.
make it go viral, because that doesn't feel right anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I am currently writing so many songs, and
Hmm.
I am not limiting myself by any genre or any topic. I just go, I just whatever I feel I write, and that's that. And I try my best, my absolute fucking best, not to judge myself in the moment, because that
Yeah.
is the hardest thing. That whatever comes out of me, I'm like, that's dumb, that's stupid, that's stupid, that's dumb.
Yeah, it's the feeling of you, no matter how much you work on it, even, it's never good enough because you know you can be doing better. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
What has been your favorite release recently? What is like one of the projects that you're most proud of recently?
I'm very happy about the song that I did with TFT,
Hmm.
with the video game that I'm currently obsessed with.
Yeah.
I love how the song turned out. I love how their fan base, pretty much TFT, League of Legends, like all this like Riot
Mhm.
Games kind of audience, like love the release, and because they didn't know and still probably don't know who Andy Darling is. They have no bias. They just hear the song and they're like, we're obsessing over it. Even though the game is about, it's not, it's just, it's a game, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they love the song so much and they made sure to like comment on it. And so that
Yeah.
felt really great. Like, and working with Riot Games in general, like they're amazing people. The composer who I wrote with, JD, such a kind and talented and just amazing human being and artist.
Yeah.
So that was so fun. And then I still think that the song that I released on my birthday in 2024, Never Enough,
Hmm.
it's one of my favorite songs I've ever done. And I'm still like it shows big numbers for me.
Yeah.
It just works. I don't know why, I don't know how. And but it still hasn't had its moments yet. And I just really hope that one day there is going to be time when the world would be receptive of it, you
It's
know?
the same thing when it's going to be ready for that track. And you
Yeah.
never know. I feel like sometimes artists put something out and it does take a year or two or some kind of period of time for people to go back to it and be like, wow, I underestimated this track or this
Yeah.
project. Yeah.
Yeah. So I love Never Enough so much. It's one of my favorite
Yeah.
songs ever.
Well, where can people find you? Where can people follow you?
Oh, oh my God, everywhere. But I'd say that Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for the visual stuff, right? For the visual, like
Hmm.
to understand how I look and what my visual art is like, and that's Andy Darling. And any music platform like Apple Music, Spotify, it's Andy Darling.
And
Like every.
everyone has to go on Spotify and rank those numbers up for Never Enough, right?
They don't have to, obviously, but that would be nice. That would
Yeah.
be really, really kind if people cared enough to do so. But
Yeah.
yeah, I would love that. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being a part of our interview today, and
Thank you.
hope to see you again soon.